Oh, that's
Okay, you're live.
You're not feeling like you can make it. Unfortunately, material shura. Okay, let's get started. Welcome back, everyone. Chol Hamoed, Baruch Hashem, we had an amazing turnout over Chol Hamoed. With Rabbi Nachum, we had a solid 13, 14 people every day. It was really amazing. We're picking up on Daf. You don't have? They didn't bring it back yet?
No,
Oh, man. All right. We hid them all in case your father was going to show up. Ich benu otam, Yosef. No. Hold on. Maybe back here? No. Nothing here. Okay. Hina.
Where we have to?
Take these two out. Okay. Daf Yudalef Amud Aleph, about 10 lines from the top. Amar of Yitzchak, Amar Rish Lakish. Rav Yitzchak quotes Rish Lakish. He says the following statement: Mi sheyesh loy petach hamor, ve'ein loy selif doisai, podeh b'shavyai. Whoever has a petach hamor, the Beis Yosef learns from this lashon a bit of a chiddush. The Beis Yosef learns from here that's only b'diavad, meaning lechatchila you should do it with the seh, and if not, you could do podeh b'shavyai. I don't know that we pass them like that, or we just say you could do either or. You have a choice, either b'seh or the shoivi of the chamor, the value of the chamor, the donkey.
You just give that money to the
You
business.
give that to the kohen.
Give the money to the guy.
To the kohen. Mi sheyesh lo petach hamor, ve'en lo yisel of doisa podeh b'shavyai. So then the value of the donkey you can give to the kohen. Leman, and that's podeh this petach hamor. Leman, who's this following? Ilay Rabbi Yehuda. If we say it's according to Rabbi Yehuda that says that a chamor is aser b'hana, ha'amar hikpida alav Torah b'seh. Rabbi Yehuda paskins that the Torah is makbid dafka b'seh, that the pediyah has to be dafka b'seh. Ela Rabbi Shimon. Elamai, this statement of Rish Lakish is going according to Rabbi Shimon that says it's mutter to use this chamor, and then you have a choice to be paid either with a seh, or alternatively, the shoivi, the value of the chamor. Ravacha masni hachi. That's how Ravacha learned it. But Ravina kashalei. Rav Yehuda, Reb Shimon, we know a klal in Shas. Rav Yehuda, Reb Shimon, halacha ke Rav Yehuda. The halacha is like Rav Yehuda. And we learned our Mishnah, Kasam Lantana, in our Mishnah, Reb Yehuda, because our Mishnah said that it's aser to use a petach hamor b'hana, and that's why when you have a suffix, you have to be mafresh, and it's yours. You have to be mafresh the tileh, the seh, and put it on the side just for you. You have to make sure, just in case. Why? Because the chamor is also b'hana. So you see that our Mishnah is stam Mishnah is like Rav Yehuda, and we pass them like Rav Yehuda. And you're telling me, Rish Lakish is telling me a statement in a halacha in Reb Shimon that you could be paid in the shoivi and the value of the chamor. Why would you do that? Ella, I want to say even better than what you said. Ella afilu temer Rabbi Yehuda. This statement of Rish Lakish that you could be paid the chamor in the shoivi chamor is even according to Rabbi Yehuda. Lo yeheh chamor min hekdesh. Even Rabbi Yehuda would hold that, even though it's aser b'hana, but it should be no worse off than hekdesh. What's the din by hekdesh? How you pull the hekdesh? With the value of the davar that's kadosh, right? The value of that kadosh object to the base of mikdash. You can be paid it with money and then give the money, and you've set that object free, right? So the chamor is no worse than that. The whole concept of being paid with a seh is to be makel on the person. The person has a chamor. That chamor is worth, let's say, $100. We kept saying it's worth $100. That donkey. So the Torah comes and gives you a kulan. The Torah comes and wants to be lenient on you and says, "Listen, you don't want to spend so much money. You don't want to put out $100 to be paid there. You have to be paid that this chamor. You know what? You could just use a seh. You could use a sheep that's worth $10, and that's good enough. It's a kula, but it's not to be machmer on you."
What about what we just said above there? About the different donkeys that they use, like we through three different types of people. Cheap one,
Yeah, but that's
Right, that's just a midah taiva. You could do a midah taiva and midah ra.
okay.
And it's still significantly less than the chamor. It'll still be less than the chamor. Rav Nachman Bered of Yosef, Parkle B'Shilki B'Shavyai. Rav Nachman Bered of Yitzchak used to use, I don't know, some sorts of grass or vegetables to be paid what? Greens to be paid his chamor. So you see that you can do it in its value, the value of the chamor. Amar of Shizri, Amar of Huna. This is a fascinating case. You come along and you say, your friend has got a Bechor donkey and he has to be paid to the Kayan. So you come along and you paid it for him. Okay? You bring a seh to the Kayan and you give the Kayan the seh. The Gemara asks, Pidyanai Padui, that works. Okay, that works. That pidyon works, meaning it's a proper pidyon. That chamor is free to go now. But now the Gemara has a fascinating question. Ibailu, pidyona lepaida, dilma pidyona lebailim. Who gets that donkey now? Okay, if you think about it, your gut reaction is what kind of question is that? You own a donkey, and I come along and I say I'm going to be paid to the donkey. And I take sheep, and I bring the car and the sheep, and I say, this sheep is going to be a pidyon for that donkey, and I can come and knock on your door. The Gemara has a havmin, I can come and knock on your door and say, by the way, that donkey, yeah, it's mine. It's not yours, it's mine. Yeah, it really belongs to me. That's what the Gemara asks.
Is the question, is the sheep belong to the...
No, the sheep goes to the Kayan. That's done. Sheep is the Kayan's. The donkey himself. You want a donkey? Go running around finding out who has a chiyuv of chamor.
What a deal.
What a deal, right? You give $10 and you just made $100.
What he does do to this kid?
So let's see the Gemara. Okay. Or no, or did you just free up that donkey for the owners of the donkey? Aliba de Rab Shimon like to buy one.
We're talking about that he wasn't asked to do it. He did it
He did it on his own. Yeah, for sure.
It's a bit like today's dinner Chomecha Pesach. So in America they have this problem that there's some people who don't want to sell the chometz on the Pesach.
Yeah.
So Rabban just sell chometz of the Eid without asking. Without asking.
Like a zachin ladam.
Zachin ladam, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Has any... Yeah, but they do it. They claim it does.
Okay, fascinating. Aliba de Rab Shimon like to. So this question is not even going to start according to Rab Shimon. Why? Because Rab Shimon held that this donkey is mutter bahana. The owners who have this donkey, even before they're podeh the donkey, before they redeem the donkey, the owners have a right to use this donkey. Yeah, so you see that the owner himself has value in this donkey. It belongs to the owner. It's his. He has some sort of real monetary value in this donkey. So Aliba de Rab Shimon lo tibaylach, because of course it's his. Of course it belongs to the original owner. It's money that belongs to the owner. So you can't come along and be paid to the donkey to the Khan and come and steal my money. You can't do it. Ki tibaylach, this question really comes up. Aliba de Rabbi Yehuda, damar asr bahana. Rabbi Yehuda holds that I'm not allowed to use this donkey so long that I have it and I own it and I didn't redeem it yet. This donkey is in my rishus, but I don't own any real part of it. I can't get any benefit from it. I don't own any monetary value in it. Yeah? So then the question is, what did you really take from me when you went and redeemed this donkey for me? What did you steal from me? Nothing. I had no rights to use this donkey anyway. So the question is, Lahekdesh medamilei, v'rachmana amar v'nasan hakesef hakam loi. Do we view this donkey as if it really belongs to Hekdesh? And the din by Hekdesh is whoever does the redeeming of the Hekdesh, he is the owner of that Hekdesh. So if somebody else comes along and redeems that donkey, so he's the owner of the donkey because the donkey really belongs to Hekdesh. O Dilma, or maybe, Kevin the Kanile Bebeni Ubeni Lo Dami Hekdesh. Or maybe even according to Rabbi Yehuda, there is a little monetary element over here that belongs to the owner. Because the owner could always redeem. We know the Torah says that the owner could redeem it with a sheep. And the difference between a sheep and a donkey is about, we keep calling it $90, but that's just for argument's sake. Let's say $90. So that $90 difference, I really, so to speak, own in value, right? So it's a theoretical ownership of this difference in price. The question is that enough of an ownership to say that now you can't take it from me? Or do we say, no, that's not real ownership. That's potential theoretical ownership. That's not real ownership. So in Memela, you didn't take anything. That's the question. Fascinating question, yeah? What's the answer? Amar of Nachman. Tashma. Let's see the brisa. A person that steals this peter chamor from his friend, he pays kefel to the bailim, he pays double to the bailim. Yesh olachar miken. Says the Brisa qualifies it. Why? Even though right now the owner himself can't do anything with this donkey, he has no real ownership in his value, but he will have real ownership in it later on. That's what the Gemara says. And therefore, when this person comes and steals it, he has to pay him kefil, he has to pay him double. Okay, like a ganav.
This certainly belonged to somebody at some point.
Well, maybe it belongs to Hekdesh. If it belongs to Hekdesh, then you didn't steal it from them. And you were pulled dead, and so you have it. Money. Who is this price according to? Ilema Reb Shimon. If we say that this price is Reb Shimon, what does it mean when the Brisa says, Amai ein loy achshav? What does it mean that right now he doesn't have any value or any ownership in it? He does. Reb Shimon says that it's mutar bahana, he's allowed to use it. Elapshita Rabbi Yehuda. So obviously this price is going according to Rabbi Yehuda. And that's why it says ein loy achshav. He has no ownership in it right now because it's asur bahana, you're not allowed to use it. And if you want to say that we view this peter chamor, we view this donkey as if it belongs to Hekdesh, what do you mean? Well, we know that the din of a ganev is not shaykh by Hekdesh. By Hekdesh, there's no such thing as paying kefil. Only the gunav mibeis ish. Only when you steal from a person do you have to give kefil. When you steal from Hekdesh, you only have to give back the keren, v'sulamidi, and nothing else. Elamai. So what do you see from here? You see from here, to answer our question, that it's not viewed as hekdesh. It is viewed as owned, even according to Yehuda, it's viewed as owned by the owners, by the bailim. That theoretical ownership or difference in price really does belong to the owners, and therefore if somebody steals it or somebody does a pidyon, more accurately, if somebody does a pidyon on that chamor, the chamor belongs to the bailim. That person that does the pidyon does not get ownership in it.
So when does hekdesh take effect?
We don't view it as hekdesh. It's not hekdesh. It goes to the kohen.
But when does it take effect, hekdesh?
There's no hekdesh here.
It's born and it's not hekdesh.
No, it's born and it's kadosh.
It's kaddish.
Yeah, and the bailim has to give it to the kohen. And now the bailim has two ways to go about giving it to the kohen.
So until it gets given, it's only
kadosh. It doesn't belong to hekdesh. Can't come knock on your door and say, "Give it to us." Nobody can do that.
Once the kohen gets it, you can do with it.
It's his.
It's only once the kohen gets it becomes property of the mikdash.
No, it becomes property of the kohen.
Oh, kohen. Then
Nothing to do with the Beis Hamikdash.
Never.
Property of the kohen. It belongs to Rabbi Schoenberg. Nobody from the Beis Hamikdash can come along and say, "Hey, give it to us." No, give it to us. It's his. It's private. Shit. Does whatever he wants. I was going to say shechtze. Yeah, he shechts it and he can make a mangal for his family and for us. Okay, content. Okay. Our Mishnah said that even after you do Peter Chamor with a seh, after you give the seh, then this seh, if it comes to, the Gemara is going to discuss exactly how this happens, but this seh theoretically can get counted again for Meiser, okay? For Meiser of sheep. We know halacha is every 10th sheep that you own, you have to strike with a red smack, a little paint, and you have to be makriv that seh as a korban shlamim, right? So this seh that you used for petach hamor could be included in that counting of 10 sheep that you own. Tanu Rabbanan, Ketzad amru nichnas ladir leisaser. What is this case that it comes back to you, or that you now own it and you have to take meiser on it again? You can't say it's talking about a case that the kohen received it, that you were pointed this chamor with a seh, and you gave the seh to the kohen. Because once the kohen receives it, this seh is for the rest of his life patur m'maiser behema, both in the hands of the kohen, as well as if the kohen gives it back to you. Let's say you have a deal with the kohen, okay? And Rosh Hashanah really feels he doesn't want to take your say, he doesn't want to take your money, and he says to you, listen, he doesn't say anything to you, but you have a petach chamor, and you know Schoenberg from the daf, so you say to him, listen, I want to give you a say, I want to do pidyon petach chamor, and Schoenberg feels bad, he knows you're tight on cash, he wants to give you the say back. So you give him the seh, and that's proper. You are yotze your pidyon petach hamor, and the next day he turns around and he says to you, "Here, by the way, I want to give you the seh back. It's really you. I want to give it to you. I don't want to be neheneh from something that was owned by you, even though it's rightfully mine. But I'm a nice guy and I want to give it back." And he gives it back to you. So that seh is patur from meiser behema. Yeah, you no longer have to take meiser on it because that's what the Mishnah says. Halokeach v'shenitam loy b'matana patur meiser behema. So what is our Mishnah talking about when we say that after you did a pediyah with a seh, that seh now again is chayev in Ma'aser Behema? What's the case? Ella Be'Yisrael. So about Yisrael. Shehayula asara safek pitrei chamayrim b'toch beisai. He had 10 safek peter chamors. If you recall, our Mishnah gave a bunch of cases when we didn't know if he's chayiv in peter chamor or not. And the Mishnah said that the halacha is when you're not sure if you're chayiv or not, you have to be mafresh, you have to go about the action of being mafresh the seh, right? You have to separate the seh, but you get to keep it. It stays. So he had 10 of those. He had 10 chamorim that were safek whether he has chayiv peter chamor or not. So he was mafresh 10 seim, yeah, and on those 10 seim comes along the Mishnah and says that 10th one has to go to Ma'aser Behema. Shemafresh aleim asar seim u'ma'asron behem shaloi. That's the case. Misayel Rav Nachman, and this is a raya to Rav Nachman. Din that Rav Nachman says, "Amar Rav Nachman Amar V'Avua Yisrael Shayila Asar Safek Pitrei Chamarim Mafresh Aleim Asar Sein Umason V'Hen Shalai." He said that then exactly. When you have 10 sfekas, you're mafresh the seh. You go through the action of being mafresh. You get to keep it, and now when you have 10 of them, that 10th one is chayav Ma'aser Behema. Judah doesn't.
Could the case just as well have been that you had one subject Peter Chamor?
Yes, I think it's
Yeah.
closest that comes and asks, how come we have to say that there were 10 of them?
Yeah.
You keep being mafresh on one. Yes.
Yeah. It only says 10 because you could have a case, if you got 10, you might have thought that they're all speakers that need it at all. So it's a chiddush to say 10. But it works as not.
Yes, very good, excellent. The Amar of Nachman. Rav Nachman said another statement regarding Petach Hamor. Rav Nachman Rav Abu Yisrael. Shahayilo asara Petach Hamorim vadayim. He had 10 chiyuvei Petach Hamor. He had a good year. He had 10 behema, 10 Hamorim donkeys, brand new ones. Vadayim b'tach beisol. No, shenaflu. I'm sorry. No, he got this by Yerusha. This is a fascinating case. Shenaflu mi beis avi imoy kayen. He got this by Yerusha. 10 Peter Chamors, or 10 Chamorim that he has a chiv to do Peter Chamor on, Be'Yerusha, from his grandfather, the Kohen. Okay?
Through his mother.
Through his mother. Very good. Correct. It's his maternal grandfather. V'oisai avi imai Kohen, and that his grandfather, the Kohen, naflu lo mi beis avi imai Yisrael. Okay, so let's just set up this case properly. Because the Yisrael had it originally, so he had a chiyuv Peter Chamor on all these 10 donkeys. And then he passed on, and he left Be'Yerusha to his grandson, the Kayan, the Peter Chamor. So now the Kayan has these 10 Peter Chamarim, which is great. In theory, all he really has to do is be mafresh, and he gets to keep it, right? He doesn't.
The grandfather was a Kayan. The grandson is
His
Yisrael.
Again, great grandfather is the way the Gemara says that. Let's do it again. You have your grandfather, who's a Kayan. Okay? His grandfather was a Yisrael.
Oh.
Okay? His grandfather was a Yisrael. So we're starting there. We're starting 4 generations back. Could really be 3, but let's say 4 generations back. Okay? So 4 generations back, there was the chiyuv Peter Chamor. Okay? He had a chiyuv Peter Chamor. The Yisrael never did it. He didn't do it. But he passed it on to his grandson, the Kohen. Okay? Now he was supposed to do it, right? He was supposed to do the action, but really he gets to keep it, because he doesn't have to pass it on to anyone, okay? And then he passes it on, and then he passed away, and he passes it on to his grandson, the Yisrael. Okay, that's the case.
The great-grandfather and the grandfather must have passed away within time.
In order for them to still be alive.
No, it was just Hamas, but we played it within 30 days.
It was a rough year for them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought we said even within 30 days.
But
Doesn't
still,
have to be within 30 days.
Yeah, we said,
No, we say even within 30 days, you're allowed to. That was the chiddush. So you're allowed to within 30 days. Not that you have to do it in 30 days.
Knas was if you haven't been played it within 30 days, then you get the knas.
I don't recall that. You remember such a thing?
After 30 days, then what happens?
You get knas.
What kind of knas?
That was the Mishnah.
I don't recall that.
big lines.
Okay. In any case, so follow this case. I'm not sure. Look, we'll check. Rav Nachman Amar Abu Abu Yisrael Shayilo Asar Peter Chamar V'Daim B'Toch Beisa Shenafu Mi Beis Avi Imo Kayin V'Ois Avi Imo Kayin Nafu Mi Beis Avi Imo Yisrael Mafresh aleim asara seyin. So he has to do the afrasha of these 10 kvasim. U'ma'asron v'hen shaloi. Right? He does the meiser, and they're his. They remain his. Okay, that's all he has to do, because he really got to be Yerusha from his grandfather. And then Rav Nachman said another similar din. V'amar Rav Nachman amar Rav Barvua, Yisrael shayilo tevalim memurachim besof beisai. Okay, he had tevel, he had wheat. Hey, welcome back. He had wheat. He had a big kri of wheat. Okay, a big pound, pile of wheat. Yeah, and that they did miruach on. Who he received from his grandfather, the Kayan. Okay, now again, what's the problem with this Kri? It's Tevel. You have to take Chumas HaMaisros. Who does the Chumas HaMaisros belong to? The Kayan. Yeah? So now the Kayan didn't go through the action of doing the Chumas HaMaisros, but in theory, it's all really his. And that Kayan received it, and he got from his grandfather the Yisrael. The reason we keep setting up that he received it from his grandfather is in order to have a chiyuv of Chumas HaMaisros, or to have a chiyuv of Petach Hamor. Otherwise, if it didn't come originally from Yisrael, there was never a chiyuv. So we set it up that it originally had a chiyuv, then it went to the grandson, the Kayan, and then from the Kayan it went back down to the Yisrael. Okay, says Rav Nachman and Rav Rua, the same thing. Yisrael Masor ben Shaloi. Now, why do we need both of these cases? Utricha, Diyashmin Kamaisa. If I just told you the case of the Peter Chamor, Mishum Bekam Afrish V'kai. Yeah, so over there I might think that the reason he has to do it is because the reason he has to go through the action, he doesn't have to do it, meaning he owns it right away, is because the Chamor is one min and the Seh is another min, and it's right there. Yeah, and it's right. He doesn't have to. It's standing right there. He doesn't have to go through any action. Yeah, aval hacha, but by matnas kahuna, but by chumas ha'maisros, matana shelo hurmu kami shelo hurmu damyan emaloi. But by this big kri of tvua, you might think you actually have to do an action of being mafresh it and separating it, because we know the halach is that if you weren't mafresh, it's kami shelo hurmu. Thinking is not enough. Yes, kamash malan. That no, since it went through the hands of the Kayan, that's good enough. V'yashmin and hacha. And if I just told you the Chuma case, the efshel asuri me'ubei the hamanach aval hasam kevin deseme alma by asiyu mafresh v'kai emaloi. You might think exactly the opposite. Over here, this big kri, everything is standing there, right there in front of you, right? I don't need to go out and find the seh from somewhere else. Everything that I need to do this hafrashas trumas is there. So I might think when it got into the hands of the Kayan, that was good enough to be this chiyuv afrasha. But by a Petach Hamor, since I have to go and find the seh, and the Kayan didn't actually do that, I might think he'd have to. Kamash Malan, this big chiddush of Rachman Amar Bavua, that it's fine, the Yisrael could just do the afrasha, and it's his, and have a good day. Good. New din. Bottom of Yudal Famidal. Amar Rabbi Shmuel Bar Nasan, Amar Rabbi Chanina. Halokeach tevalim memurachim. Mina ovid kochavim. He takes tevel from the guy. Uma'asron vehen shaloi. Okay? So he does meiser on them and they're his. Okay? Rashi is making this case where he's an aris. Okay? He's an aris for the guy. The guy owns this field of tvua. Okay? And this Yisrael is working for him and he gets some rights in this tvua, in this wheat. Okay? And he did all the work, and he did the miruach. Yeah, so he is pater.
Sharecropper.
Pardon?
I think we call it a sharecropper.
A sharecropper, yes, correct. Very good. Okay, so halokeach tevalim memurachim in oivet kochavim. So now you take this tevel from this guy, me'ason, he can do the meiser, and they belong to him. Meaning he owns it, and then he obviously can't eat it because it's truma, but he could sell it to the Kayan. That's the point. It doesn't belong to the Kayan, it belongs to me, the Yisrael.
How do you sell truma to the Kayan?
What do you mean?
Price.
What do you mean?
You have to separate the truma and give it to the Kayan.
You separate it, but it's yours. Ma'asron v'hen shaloi. You own it. It's yours. And now you're the Kayan, that'll give you the best deal on it. Yeah? You won't get as much as you will regularly, but because the Kayan has his own, he gets
How
for
many
free.
Kohanim there are in town?
Yeah, I guess so. Right? Supplying demand. The Marchin Uman. So the question is, who did the miruach on this field? If you want to say that it's the guy himself that did the miruach, we know in order to be chayiv chumas and maisos, you're not chayiv chumas and maisos on wheat until you do a miruach until you like smooth out that whole field. Yeah. So the gancha marachmana velo the gan oived kochavim. Not a guy is potter if he does miruach. Yeah. There is no chiyuv chumas ma'asos. So if the guy did the miruach and then handed it to you, that wheat is potter from chuma ma'aser. Okay. Ela de marchinu Yisrael. Bershus oived kochavim. Ela ma'it the Yisrael that did the action of miruach. He did it with the rishus of the guy because the guy has some ownership in it. So ma'asran, so then he takes ma'aser in it. The ein kinin lo'avet kachavim be'etz Yisrael lefkim they had ma'aser v'hen shaloi. Yeah, the guy doesn't have enough power to completely be mafkia chumas ma'asers from the land. And since Yisrael has partial ownership in this wheat, so therefore he has to take chumas ma'asers in it, but not enough that he gives the guy and it's his. Why? Because Israel tells any kohen that comes to take this truma from him, you want to come take the truma from me? I'm coming from the power of who? Of a guy. And the guy, you had no ability to come and take the truma from him, right? And since I'm coming from his power, I'm really just a conduit of his. Since I'm coming from his power, you have no right to claim ownership on this truma. So really, it's mine. I could sell it to you if you'd like, but you can't come and claim it as yours. Tanan Hassan. Hamafkid piroisav etzel kusi vetzel amarik. Now, what if you have fruit that you already took your trumas and maasros? They're good fruit, and you're going out on a tiul on a vacation, and you come to your friend the kusi, yeah, or you come to your friend the kusi or the amaretz, and you say, "Listen, can you watch my fruit for me?" Okay, so that's no problem. We're not afraid that this amaretz is going to come and start switching up the fruits and give you fruits that weren't metukan, that are tevel fruits. We assume that your fruits are your fruits. Okay, so hamafki peroisav etzel kusi hakusi ve'etzel amaretz bechaskasan lemaiser ve'leshvius. They remain in their chazaka of meiser, and they remain in their chazaka either a perishishis or shvius, whatever they are, whatever you handed to him. But if you gave it to the guy to watch, if you give your fruit to a guy to watch, and you took proper tumas and maestros, and you went on vacation, and then you come back, you have to assume that the guy saw these fruit, and he's like, oh, these look like really good fruit. And he probably ate them, and he just replaced them with his fruit. Yeah? And now those fruit are chayiv and tumas and maestros. Etzel over kachavim keperitzav. They are as if they belong to the pairs of the guy. And Shimon Omer, Demai. Okay, we're not 100% sure they have to Chumas Semaisros. Tanakama says 100% they have to Chumas Semaisros. Reb Shimon says, Safek, Demai. We're not sure. Okay? So you have to take it, Misafek.
Can I just clarify? If you buy fruit from a goy farmer in Eretz Israel, and he did all the work with it, everything, you have to take Truma and Meiser for that fruit.
Yeah, seemingly according to what we said before, that ain't kinyan live kacham beretz Yisrael give me at Meiser. No, if he did everything and the miruach, we saw clearly not.
No,
that's what we said before. Not.
So
Rashi points out over here. I tana savar the ein miruach oived kachavim pointer. Very good. I was wishing someone said that. Rashi points out very clearly that this number is going out. This Bryce is going according to the number says that even miruach of the guy won't pater him from Trumas and Maasros. Excellent. Okay, so that's what Rashi points out in Dibur Masker Keparesa. So Amar Rabbi Lazar, but let's notice the following thing. Amar Rabbi Lazar, lahafrish kule amaloi pligi. Everybody agrees that this Yisrael has to do a hafrasha, either a vadai hafrasha of Trumas and Maasros or misafek demai. But everyone agrees he has to do it. Ki pligi. What are they arguing about? Liknan lekayin. They're only arguing about whether he has to give it to the kayin. Tanakama Savar Vadai Chalfinu, the guy for sure switched up these fruits, Ubayis Ninu Lakayan. And this is Vadai Chumas and Maestros, and you have to give it to the Kayan. Reb Shimon Savar Demai. And Reb Shimon holds it's a suffix, it's Demai. You have to go through the steps, but you get to keep it. It's yours. Yosef Rav Dimi. Now we're not done with our question. This is one long question. Yosef Rav Dimi. V'kamer Lai Shmaisa. Now Rav Dimi was sitting around, and he said this Shmaisa. Abaye heard him, and he says, Amalei Abaye. The only reason we're not sure whether you give the kayan these fruit in this situation is because we're not sure if the guy switched it or not. But if we know for 100% that the guy switched up his fruit with your fruit, everybody agrees that you'd have to give the fruit to the kayan. That seems very clear. Well, I don't understand. V'hamar Rav Shmuel Amar Rav Chanina. But didn't we just learn a second ago in the name of Rav Chanina? Halakayach tavalim min ha'ovet kachavim memurachim me'asron v'hen shalai. If you take it from the guy, even if the guy didn't do the miruach, you did the miruach, yeah, you're masron and they belong to you. Why do you have to give it? Says the Gemara, Dilma kam b'truma g'dayla, kam b'truma smaiser. There's a chiluk. When it comes to truma g'dayla, that's a machlokes. Tanakama and Reb Shimon, whether you'd have to give it to the kayan or not. Yeah. Reb Menachem explained to me, maybe pshat is because truma smaiser, everybody gave. Yeah, that's how it is. Everybody, Truma G'dayla, everybody gave, yeah? So that, there's no question that you have to give to the Kayan, yeah? And then it's just a question of whether you have to give it Vadai, yeah? Truma Smaiser, since, the way I saw some of Farshim saying, since the Levi skipped out on his Chelak, so maybe you don't have to give your Chelak at all either, so you're Masron, and they belong to you. There's a lot of talk about this Chiluk exactly, how to understand it, but suffice it to say.
Trump's mice is a lot more than Trump Gadol.
These are the two things that are asked about now. You have to give to the coin, not letting it. Everything else you do.
Could be 1p now.
Yeah. Okay. Ma'asron Askun Mil Sadam Rabbi Shua ben Levi. So he says to him, hey, you reminded me of something that Rabbi Shua ben Levi said. How do you know when you take miruach of a guy? Shu pater mitrumas meiser. How do you know you're pater from trumas meiser completely? Shenemar ve'al levim tedaber. Speak to the levim. Ve'amar teleim ki tikhu meis bnei Yisrael tevalim shetalokech bnei Yisrael atamafresh mehen trumas meiser v'nois nalakayin tevalim shetalokech minayvet kachavim iatamafresh mehen trumas meiser v'nois nalakayin. So you take it from the guy, you're pater from the trumas meiser, but truma g'dayla you would still be chayav on. Certainly, if you know for sure. Okay, one more little piece. The meis nenim. Our Mishnah said that if this shepselach dies, that you this kayan is still nene from the keves. The meis heicha. Where did he die? This sheep. Ilema the meis beikayan. If you want to say he died in that, meaning you did your pidyon petachamor and you gave the kayan your sheep, and then he died. What is it? V'nene beikayan. And now the Mishnah is saying in the kayan. From it, what it is, Pshita, obviously, he got it. It says, like we just said, he owns it for everything. It's Rosh Schomburg, so he can do anything he wants. So if it dies, of course he could be nana from it. Mamana didehu, it's his money. Ela the meis bei bailim, v'nene bekayin. If you want to tell me the Mishnah is being mechadesh, that it died in the rishus of the Yisrael, yeah, and that the kayin still could be nana from it. Hanami pshita, it's also pshita. Says the Gemara, that's not so pshita. Zakadata chamina kol kama de lamata liyadei lo zachabe. You might think that even if the Yisrael was mafrish this sand, he says, I'm going to use this sand, give it to the kayan, but I didn't actually give it to the kayan yet, and now it died. Maybe it died in the rishus of the Yisrael, and maybe the Yisrael has to go and give the kayan a new one that's actually alive. Kamash malam the me'inna da'afreshe b'rishus of the kayan have. The second that he separates this set, it goes right. It belongs right away to the kayan. It's just sitting in the rishus of the Yisrael. Have a good day.
See, that was great.
Does the nations have a million
10
today?
minutes left.
Huh? Nations.
Ooh, I think they do.